It is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some Hex Demon stuff today. Generally, when I don't stream the Hex Demon game as much as I have been, but chat has been really helpful, and I've actually been working more on the Hex Demon game more than the 2D 4X game because this game is much simpler and it's easier to learn new things on a simpler game that's not so convoluted with fucking code that I'm trying to convert. And every step of everything is 16 different things that are all combined together. So I have done some of this work. The 2D4X one I stream every time I work on it. This one I just, whatever. I've been plunking along on this. So here's the game currently. And I couldn't sleep the other night. Actually, this happened last night. I couldn't sleep either. I'm so tired. I went to sleep at 5 a.m. and then woke up at 10 a.m. For no good reason. Friday's off until the end of the year. So anyway, that's why I'm streaming on Friday and Saturdays usually. Maybe, and so I'm gonna probably do the 2D4X one tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know. I need to work on that one though. I think about the 2D4X when I'm like, oh man, it'll be so cool when we get to that feature to put in, and then I'm like, but I am still at the very beginning of that one, and it's demoralizing. In this one, at least I make progress every time I do stuff. So anyways, I couldn't sleep the other night, and I was thinking while I was laying in bed, I was like, you know, it'd be cool if I could turn Hex Demon in where the player had a choice to do turn-based or real-time. I don't know. I just think about weird, it's like dumb shit like that. It's not weird shit, it's dumb shit. So I was like, man, and I can't sleep. I should just try to do that right now. No, I didn't do it. Oh, this isn't a tutorial, by the way. I always want to say that at the beginning, just in case people like, you know, see I post all these on YouTube, and so if someone's like, oh, is this a raycasting tutorial? No, this is just me fucking flailing around and failing 90% of the time. I should probably make sure that I'm actually streaming too, because it's a bummer to have to repeat my intros and stuff. We need this thing too. Eventually, we're gonna look at this half-assed project that I've been doing with this one. So anyways, I worked on it for a while, and I was like, wow, making this real time is going to be a lot more work than my laying in bed dream than I thought. So I went to bed, and then I woke up in the morning, and I was like, wait, that's shit that you implemented. It was basically the mouse movement. So one of the things that I did was if you left-click on this, it will tell you where it is, where I just clicked, which was something I wanted to do just to make... What? This may be filled with bugs. What the fuck is this shift thing? Shift and 10 key enter. Control and 10... Shift wasn't being pressed. Maybe shift's being pressed. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what that is. Yeah, I haven't tested this recently. So I can left click on it and it will tell me, well, it won't tell me these ones because I don't have a... Oh, actually, I do have a collider on these now, but it doesn't, whatever. It's a bug-filled mess. But if I right-click, it will move towards where you're going. It will pathfind to wherever you click, and it will try to move there. The one issue I can see with this is if the player, like if you click here and the player wanted it to go here, it's not going to. It's going to go to here because that's the shortest path. This is a different thing. Don't look at this. Here, we'll move this down. There we go. And I also made it so you can summon a demon with the 2 key. It uses a soul. We didn't have demon summoning before. And the 10 key still works to move stuff. So part of the problem here, you might notice this demon is following me around. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to detect the closest enemy and go after them. Oh, I think I put this on here. I don't think this was here last time. So this is a combat log. It's a lot easier to find bugs if you have a combat log. I actually see a bug in this combat log too. Jesus Christ. What was the first thing? It was saying control was pushed. Let's add this stuff on here because I'll forget. Key debug or GD print is saying control and shift is pressed. Okay, what the fuck that is. And then the other thing we want to fix here at some point is margins. Margins in the combat log r whack. There we go. I thought I put margins in there, but I guess I didn't. Okay. So there's 2 bugs we found, and I guess I should probably put this one in, that the guy isn't following. Demons follow the player instead of attacking. That should be fixed with this raycasting stuff. So after that, after summoning the demon, like basically the next step was getting them to detect each other. Like this guy's got to detect if he can see me, and he's got to detect who's the closest, and I got to be able to detect if I can see him. So if I go, let's say I go behind a pillar, I'm pushing a key that doesn't do anything. Oh, he got on top of the guy. That's not supposed to happen. I shouldn't be able to see like this goblin over here because I'm behind the, like if I drew a line, it would hit this pillar. So that's basically what I'm working on. Oh, Jesus Christ, we got to fix this. I'm going to add this other thing in here too. See, this is why I always open with playing the game so I can find all this shit that I fucked up. Demon and goblins aren't fighting. That's a problem. I bet you that's also because of the raycasting. So I'm converting this from Unity, and I was using Chat GPT to help me with that, but I stopped doing it. Yeah, we don't want to. I was looking at, is this thing going out of control? It is. So that's the raycasting part. And so let's end this and let's look at what I've done. So I had to go. I was trying to use no colliders, but I had to for clicking on stuff and for raycasting. So raycasting needs colliders to impact with. I'm not using this shape thing. This was an idea I had. We can delete this actually. I was testing this raycasting is so fucking difficult. It was such a pain in my ass. So with the Unity's line of sight thing, I basically just found a tutorial and copied their code and modified it, and it was so fucking easy. It took like an hour complete time to get this all working in Unity because there's so many tutorials, and I read all these Reddit posts and stuff since I've last streamed this, and there were a lot of people who said like the documentation's better than Unity for Godot and stuff, and the tutorials are better. That's not true. I don't know where they're getting their information. I'm not like leaving Godot. I'm not, fuck this, I'm back to Unity. No way. I'm sticking with Godot, and I think it's going to improve because there's way more people and stuff. So I think that is what is going to happen, hopefully. And I really think Godot should hire somebody to do tutorials full time. They should just be going to town. The other issue is you get a tutorial in GD script. And you get a tutorial and it's not useful. And they have some other weird shit. Like here's an example. This is useful for a lot of things, such as what? Such as what, dude? So that's weird. And then you're like, oh, cool. There's a tutorial on Raycast 2D. That's exactly what I need. And you click on this. This is not for. You can for simple nodes like this will work. Return every frame. New Joker, how's it going? But this is not what it's it's not using Raycast 2D. So they really need to have. And then this goes back to GD script. They really need someone to do tutorials full time. Ad? You didn't see an ad, did you? I hope that you're not getting ads. I can't control that, but I gave up my on my other channel. I gave up my affiliate status because I was tired of the viewers getting ads. So back to this crazy shit though. So this isn't going to be called Census anymore. This is going to be called some sort of raycast thing. I don't know. So originally in the Unity thing, you can attach more than one script to a game object. But in this, will probably be sight. That's probably unless we put it all in one script. So I've been fumbling around, and I got there's so much code that's commented out. Yes, it is I. There's a lot of us. I noticed in the forums that there is a lot of people, and I'm glad. The more people, the better. Um, so I put in this look test, and part of it is it's just gonna look through. So every time I gotta go back. So there is, I don't know why I'm getting that bug down there. So right now in the main thing where I have this globals, I don't think I need this anymore. Oh, I don't have it exposed, but there's a list in here that is an enemy list that is empty right now. But the minute that it's on turn 2, so if we pause it, wait a turn, now there's a thing in here. So we had to do this, and then it starts raycasting. And I also didn't know about this global position thing, so I was getting so frustrated. Oh my god, it took me so long to get this to work, like 3 hours or something of just absolute garbage code. And that's what a lot of this stuff down here is. So this might be chat. Yeah, so this is chat GPT stuff that was not helping me because it was too convoluted and it kept having issues. So I just started like each step. So I may have mentioned this last time I streamed, but I watched a bunch of videos when the Unity controversy was first going down, and there was a lot of developers who were like, I'm just gonna wait it out and see if Unity will backtrack. And most of those people have now said like, well, they backtracked, so I'm gonna stay with Unity. But I don't feel so. I really feel like the more people who switch, the better. There was this Reddit thread that I read about. It was actually about raycasting. That was kind of interesting. I wonder if I can find it. I read it on my phone because it's way above my level. Oh, I probably need to put Godot in here. It was pretty recent. It's this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, so this is way above my level of skill in Unity or in Godot, like way, way, way above my level. But I read this whole thing, and so this is like some hardcore developer um, who like found not they aren't bugs. I was about to call them bugs. Who found that he thinks that there's a better way to do stuff with the C# things, and he goes into a lot of detail. He wrote like this huge post about it. And one of the things that I was most surprised about in this, let's see if this is the big post he wrote. Let me find it. I gotta back up what I'm saying. Maybe I can't find it on here. This is quite a long thing. You should read it here if you get a chance, because it's, man. So the main thing that I noticed was if this was on Unity, everyone would be telling this guy to go fuck himself. 100%. If this was on the Unity forum, they would just be all these people just telling this guy, go eat shit, dude. Don't ever criticize Unity. They wouldn't say go fuck yourself, but that in a roundabout way they would be doing it. But what instead happened was he wrote a post, and he basically, I'm going to condense this very, very very condensed. He said, look, there's better ways to do this. I don't know if I want to spend the time or even use Godot because of the issues that I found on the first thing that I looked at, which was raycasting. There's way faster ways to do it. You shouldn't be using a dictionary, blah, blah, blah. He says that in the beginning. And you know what's weird is when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it returns a dictionary. That's weird. But I don't know shit about anything. He wrote I don't know why I can't find it. He wrote a post then that said, like, hey, Godot developers, you got issues and I don't know if I want to switch. And then the main developer replied and wrote a big post about it. That would have never happened in Unity. It would have been a one-word comment on the Unity forums from some volunteer that would have been like, hey, I don't mean to say this way, but go fuck yourself. You know, that's what it would have been. And so it blows my mind. I can't find his fucking post. It's in here somewhere. I'm scrolling too fast, or I don't know how to read or something. I thought for a second, I was like, I'm onto it. No. And I was, like I said, I was looking at it on my phone, so it's completely different. But I'm not willing to accept. So, and he also is kind of coming across like slightly as a jerk. And everyone still is like, why don't you try to? Oh, here it is. Someone else posted it. So this is the guy. I couldn't remember the name of it or anything, but this is it. So he has this huge post about the whole thing, and then like the developers responded somewhere like, look at this fucking post. He has benchmarks somewhere too. There we go. There's the benchmarks. It's just this guy. So this guy's like so far above my head. So then he talks about, and so a lot of people said, like, why don't you just put in a PR for it? And he's like, I don't know if I want to spend the time rewriting all this other stuff. If I could just rewrite my own custom thing. So here's another thing. One of my jokes finally landed. Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, people should check that out. If it's so, like I keep saying, the Godot community is really nice comparatively to the Unity one. It's not making me change. Like because of one guy, I'm out of here. Back to Unity. I'm not going to go back to Unity, and I'm going to keep learning this. But it's back to this thing too. I do wish this was explained better. Back to what I'm struggling with here. I guess I'm not struggling with it. So has this been going the whole time? Yes, it has. So this is what I had to do. What did I have to do? All right. It wasn't actually that hard after I figured it out. Oh, yeah, that Juan guy's fucking crazy. He was the first person. There is that one guy, yeah. That guy's crazy. It's weird, too, because he puts out videos that are pro Godot one day, and then the next day he's like, I hate this piece of shit. No one can use it. So what I did is we have to be able to click on this. So this had to have a collider for the right clicking thing. But then these don't need colliders, except now they see, because this is a pillar. You're not supposed to be able to see through this. But now it needs a collider because you can't be able to see through it. And then I needed a collider on this so that I can see it. All of this thing, I tried to avoid the collider thing, and then now, and this exact thing happened in Unity too, and I forgot that it happened. So that they'll collide with this thing, and then these things need to be able to collide with this thing. So I messed around with all that, and what I did was I made this layer 2, the collision layer 2 for the floor ones. And then I had to put the player, we're on this thing to areas and bodies, and I already forgot why I had to do that. Because it needs to collide with an area. So I thought about maybe I'll make the wall a body, a character body 2D, so that I could leave the bodies unchecked. Or sorry, leave the areas unchecked, but it seemed easier to make this area. So now I have both, and this thing has to check for both. But if I did a collision mask, that seemed to work. Wait, collision mask. Yes. No. Yes. Collides with. Yes. And so he's going to collide with 1. But I actually... So far, that has definitely been the case. I wish there was more people putting... I know, I've said that 16 times now. So I think, though, the first thing I think I want to do, this is going to fuck shit up, is I actually want the floors to be 1. Because they're at the bottom. I just want to, like, put some sort of semblance in my, instead of random shit. Wind of Flatus, how's it going? So I think I want the collision floors to be 1. Yeah, now see, it's the minute I click this, it's colliding with more shit. So we want to undo this, and oh, is this, I never thought about this. Will this save while I'm in play? And then we'll put this at 2. Oh, now I fucked it up though. Oh no, I didn't. And then we want the goblin. The goblin. Where's your shit, goblin? It's here. No. Where's your shit, goblin? How are we colliding with you? Where's your collision? Unity doesn't have that, so I had my thing when it was in play turn bright red, so I would remember not to. Here we go. Goblin, you need to be here. Okay, so I could know if I was in play or not. Doing good. I'm tired. I think I was tired last week too. I couldn't fall asleep till 5 a.m. and then I woke up at 10 a.m. One of my coworkers, I got the day off. My phone was like had 10 text messages and shit. No one ever calls me or texts me. And one of my coworkers is in the ICU with COVID, and they needed me to like forward their emails and stuff. It's crazy. Okay, so this is like garbage code, meaning that I just like started just like I was just trying to get it to work. So I'm using like thing. So let's let me think how we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna need a for loop first, and I don't want it in. So I also bound this to the Q key. So if you hit Q, well, you won't be able to tell with this thing, with this blasting away. Well, maybe we will. If we hit the Q key here, or maybe I unbound it. No, it's there. It's just not working because there's nothing for it to see. Exactly, and that's the thing. And then I was also remembering. So this is what I was thinking. So the long-term goal of this game is to have like 1,000 demons on your side, and you would be fighting like 1,000 dudes on the other side, right? That's the dream. And I was like, I don't think I wanted to go through the list and look for these things. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it except to go through that list of everybody there. And then I think in some code somewhere down here. So this is like the Unity stuff. I think I did that. So the demons it doesn't need to collide with. We don't give a shit where the demons are. Well, I guess we could. we do give a shit, kind of. Right now, we don't give a shit. We might give a shit. we, might, we might give a shit down the road. I can't decide. Like, should you be able to see all your demons, regardless if they're in line of sight? This is Chat GPT stuff. I guess maybe I didn't go through the whole list. No, I did. Okay, so this is part of it. Okay, yeah, so it's different because in Unity it returns an array. It starts at it starts at infinity and then it goes down. Like as it finds the first one that it finds, it goes down and it makes this is who's farthest away. So yeah, in Unity it returns a, so that would have been less. It would have checked less things. But I don't think it matters because it's turn-based. So let's pretend like it doesn't matter. If this is greater than this, we want a for loop in here. For, oh my god, I haven't written a for loop in a while. There we go. Please. There we go. Then we gotta go. This needs to go here, but this needs to be I. So it needs to check each one. And let's clean up this shit too. Oh yeah, I thought I had to do this forced raycast update, but it was all this global position thing. Which I still don't quite understand why. What's the difference? Like, why is it... Oops. Like, what is it? Like, I know what it is, but I like, what is it? How different is it? Does that make sense? Like, I'm curious. I read about it after I figured out that that was the problem, but I still don't. But that is his position. I now know this number from... I now know this. Oh no, it's different by one number. Oh no, it's different by... Yeah, this one's rounded. Huh. Well, whatever the reason. That works now. So if this is colliding... All right, how are we going to do this? We have to turn off... Okay, this actually shouldn't be that hard. No, this shouldn't be that hard at all, actually. If it's true... We want to... Whoops. What was that key? Shift Enter. If it's colliding, we want to... Globals, instance, enemy list, no. Show, can I just show? And then we just want to show it. What the fuck is this? We don't care. We don't care about this. Let's pretend we don't care about this. Whoops. Let's get all this stuff out of here. And then else we just want to hide it. If it's not hitting, we want to hide it. And so that we're not going to have this an update or whatever it's called. Okay, so when I'm saying position, in this particular case, detect, maybe I didn't understand it. Detect opponent, which is, once again, it's in this senses thing. It's returning this position, which is 0. While this one, if I had like said position of parent, it would have gotten this one, or it still would have been off. I'm gonna rename this to look, because it's bothering me. Right now, only the main character is looking at stuff. All right, so now if we restart this, we should be able to, we won't get a bunch of log stuff either. We should be able to hide. Okay, that didn't work. We are gonna need this. My root node is 0, I would assume. I don't think I moved it. It's -1. Right. Can I put .name on this? Let's see. No. All right, that's close enough. That you are not being. We just got to make sure that I'm actually seeing. What's your problem here? Oh, I got rid of. What's your problem? Once again, imagine in the good old days, programming without that thing. Have you seen the? I think I mentioned this before. The lady with like the stack of code that was printed out that she like made for NASA or something that she had to read through. All right. So is colliding with. Oh, it comes right back. I don't think a line can get through here. Maybe? Character body. Well, it's definitely gliding there. Now I'll never get away from it. Die. Oh, I also added corpses. Um, oh, this needs to be on layer 2. That's the problem. This needs to be on layer 2. If floor is layer 1, that's what's happening there. I think I understand what you mean. Now this is still happening. I wonder. I had this working 10 seconds ago. Is colliding with the area. Oh. It's this. I have it somewhere. If. Where did I put it? Maybe I got rid of it. Maybe I deleted it. No, it's right here. This is what we need. Okay, so what we need is, I don't know what. Yeah, I used var here because I couldn't figure out what I'm supposed to be getting back. What we need is this thing. We need this thing inside here. So if it's true, and the collider equals I, you're hitting it, and we'll put this at the end, and then we're gonna have to put like, this should be show, and else. Let's do it different. Should be. Did it used to just flood that? You couldn't collapse it? That is sometimes, you know, it's useful to see like stuff change, but yeah, it's you are hitting something else. And then we would put, I don't like, maybe this isn't that bad as of a variable name. Me and my pickiness with fucking variable names. I put in a death. That reminds me, I put in a death scene. I gave myself 100 hit points in the goblins 0 though, so I could test this. Or no, 1 hit point. They have 1 hit point. Okay, so we are hitting this thing. There's a laser, the raycast. Okay, so now it's gone. And it still should be moving around. Yeah, there it is. Now, what about the second one? It's at turn 10. There's the second one. Get away from me. Okay, so there's something busted there. But that's okay, because we actually don't want this in update. We want this. Let's get rid of this crap. So I put in here that if you die, it just starts, you know, it gives you it says you died, dumbass, and then you restart the game. All right, we don't need this stuff either. Man, there is so much code that is just me trying stuff. This is how I like flail. I mean, ChatGPT was useful. It was the one who mentioned the global position thing, and I was like, what is that? So I started actually putting more comments up here of what this stuff is. This is a ChatGPT the comment, because I found some code multiple times now. I've found code that's commented out that I didn't know if it was stuff that I was actually needed later or if it was stuff that I could delete. Like, this is kind of the same situation. This can go. This can go. This was ChatGPT's thing. Yeah, this was ChatGPT's thing to here. Nope, this is part of it too. So Unity has the ability for you to turn on the gizmos. I don't know what they're called in Godot, probably gizmos as well, in the game. And it's pretty useful. So there also is in here somewhere. Oh no, I didn't copy it over. There's code for how to turn the gizmos on, but all right, I didn't copy that over. And I also had put in originally I was gonna have like the field of view not be 360, but I decided I wanted it to be 360 degrees because there's no real facing in this. Like once I have a real graphic, because this is just placeholder graphics, there'll be a forward facing, but I don't want the demons to be able to, or the goblins or whatever, to sneak up behind you. I think that will uh, reduce I think it's not important. Maybe later. So I think so what we got to do here is take this, what is all this shit? Okay, we are going to need part of this. We're going to rename this. What did I call this? Detect component. We're going to call this look. We're actually going to go like this. So this, all the other thing that I'm coming up against, which I think is bad, is so much of my code needs another script before this. Like one part needs another script to appear before the next thing happens. And it's a bummer that everything is so tied together. Okay, so I don't know what this is used for. Let's look at the original code here from Unity. I feel like this was changed by Chat GPT. Is that the one where you start out as like a peasant? Kingdom Come Deliverance or whatever? I actually really like that game. It's too bad my computer at the time couldn't run it. No, we don't want detect opponent. We want token info here. So what the fuck are we doing? If player can see equals true, we were making the sprite render active, but why? Oh, right. This is okay. All right. This is what we were doing. I see what we were doing. Is that better? I see what we did here. We. You know what the bummer with that game and a lot of games, it's such a minor complaint, is the boxing quests where you got to go like box someone. I would accidentally always kill those people, and I would I'd be like, okay. So what I was doing with this was in detect opponents, instead of hiding it this way, I was just throwing that bool, and then the bool controlled. I wonder why. I probably did it that way because you could then look and see what's going on with that, like if the bool was working or not. How would we do that, though? We would have to go... There's probably a reason. Oh, we got to do that Git thing, though. Jake Blade, thank you for the raid. How's it going? I'm assuming you're a Godot person. I can't remember if I talked to you the other day or not. We're gonna do this thing that I'm not. This is another thing I'm not too. So when I was doing Unity, I did a similar thing like this a lot. And one day someone came into chat and said, "Oh, you don't ever want to do that." And I looked it up, and it didn't seem like you didn't never want to do it. And I'm wondering, but it seems like you shouldn't do it a lot. And I'm wondering if that's the same in Godot. What type of game are you working on? And this was player can, no, it's capital. Player, what did I call it? Oh, is it commented out? Yeah, that's going to be a problem. He was saying that you shouldn't do it because it takes longer to it's more resource intensive to get a node. Well, you know, it's a game object in Unity. That seems pretty awesome. I just played it one of those. I don't think the dungeons were procedurally generated, but I played, you know, a dungeon, first person dungeon crawl. It wasn't Dark and Darker either. This is like a turn-based hex game that's in its early infancy. So he was saying that you only should, this is for Unity, you only should do that in Ready. You should never call it, you should only do it in Awake. You should never call it every time it runs. But on some of this stuff, I have no choice. Like this particular time, I don't have any choice. So this is just prototype graphics. Oh, there's a bug. Oh, it's doing it again. Oh wait, we're having there's another one here. It's just invisible for some reason. But so the plan is that you would summon demons on your side to fight in a turn-based hex game. So there's it's a baby demon, and then it would, you know, it doesn't fight though right now. It just follows me around, and I'm converting all this from Unity. So it will fight one day, and that should be easy once I get this detection thing. Oh, they'll fight it though. Oh, except that it never dies. Oh, that's what happened earlier. It's not that it wasn't fighting, it was that it was dead. Oops, and I have a typo in this name. Or in this thing. Isn't that they aren't fighting, it is that... Well, there's two issues, actually. When they do, the demons don't go away. Whoops, not close. Oh, shit. So I have all the, you know, like, I keep having to go, like, oh, don't, you know, like, bring back my scope. Like, I'm always like, oh, fuck yeah, we'll add this cool feature in, and it'll be, and then it's like, well, that's so much work. I got to keep it, you know, as simple as possible, you know, the kiss thing. And so I actually, if in a perfect world, I could, so I'm going to hire artists for it, but I want to, you know, have as little amount as they can draw as possible. But I actually want them, if in a perfect world, when they're the baby demons, to look cute, but as they get bigger, they look more and more disgusting and repulsive. That's a dream, though, but I don't actually think that I'm going to end up doing that. Instead, I'm just going to do what I did here is have different sizes. You know, at the beginning, just have different sizes. And they won't be tokens like this. I want them to, like, you know, be like 3/4 or something. Angle. Where did I just... Reopen. Go back. Yeah, well, I have a friend who's like a professional full stack developer, and he's the one who keep it simple, stupid. But he was the the one who told me about the kiss thing. He was like, you've never heard of that? And I was like, well, I've heard of keeping it simple, but I've never heard of uh, it being called kiss before. And then since then, I like a lot of like developer people have told me that that is like a standard thing. So this, can we just go hide here? And then this, I'm wondering why I was changing the color. Or if that's some weird, whoops, other way around. We want hide here and show here. Yeah, the first person one that I streamed it on my other channel. It was kind of slow, and I would like to play. What's the name of your game if you have a name yet? Or a link to anything if you have a link. If you're still around. I always feel bad, you know, people raid and then I start talking and they probably want to go and I'm just running my mouth. All right, let's test this out. This is still not going to work correctly. I took it out of... but it's actually like visible on Steam. So if we do Q, oh, wait, well, okay. Returning a null pointer. Oh, I know why. Because well, I didn't save this either. Oh, I renamed that thing. Ah. Gotcha. Yeah, I try to read quickly and it's been failing me with Twitch chat a lot. All right, so now we're just going to test this with Q. Like I'm gonna just, I don't know where the fucking thing is. It should be right on top. Oh, it just hit me. Okay, so something's kind of not working. This is why I gave myself 100 hit points. I'm not sure. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. There's somewhere in here. Oh, well, I didn't save it again. Somewhere in here. Well, we got this problem where I half typed something. So I'm glad you do that because I do that too. Like this, you mean? I think it's way easier to read, and like there's one of these things, it keeps harassing me to reduce it to 2 question marks. I forget which one it is. I don't remember which one. I don't want it to be two question marks because one, I don't know what that means. Like my brain doesn't doesn't do that yet. Um, and one of these I just saw it. That was one of these has um, I just saw it and I was like, should I fix this right now? And then I was, oh fuck it, I'll fix it later. Which is actually the bad thing for for me because then I'll never fix it. Anyways, one of these I noticed didn't have the equals thing, but yeah, I like everything all typed out. And that's another thing with tutorials is I hate when they're like they use the condensed code or whatever it's called. All right, so let's fix this thing. Uh, this is player can see equals false. We need Is there a place we can put this? We could put this, actually. Let's do this. Let's put this at the, because we're going to use this a bunch of times. And then, oh, it's because I have two equals. And that's like a comment. This happens to me all the time up here. And I'll be like, what is going on? What is wrong with my code? And it's just such a simple fix. Okay, so now we should be able to. Well, we need a thing there. All right, so let's look at this logic one. Is it colliding? No. Then the player can't see it. Well, wait. That's not true. It could be colliding with something. Is it colliding? Yeah, so it's getting hit. If it equals the same thing, you are hitting it. You're hitting something else. Um. Well, wait. If it's not colliding with anything, then you can't see it. I don't know why we wouldn't be. We would be. Um. I don't. Should I be? Is that a good thing to do? You're talking about like up here, put return up here, right? Or you're putting it right here. Doesn't it skip that though? If it's not. All right, let me try this wall. But does it do what does it? Why would you do that? We don't need a demon. Okay, we got issues. $33. What? Not a pain maggot. That's something else. So I guess I'm not understanding what you mean. Are you talking about like somehow minimizing this? Okay. Line 29. Oh, you mean like with this thing? I've never used this in my life. Um, I saw someone in his tutorial doing this, and I was like, "What is that?" Um, or are you talking about line if count stop the function execution line 29? That will pull everything below back one tab. All right, I'm learning every time I stream, you guys teach me something new. Okay, so what do I do? Line 29. Then put everything below back one tab. Count is greater. Global's instance. All right, so you go less than 1. And then it would have, but then it would. I'm so confused. This needs a thing. Braces on 30. All right. Well, I can put it. I can put it back. Remove this, and then. So it's one of the things that's weird is because with the player the namespace it adds one more over. Man, I'm not used to that, so that's bizarre. Like to me, that's weird. Um, but then the code isn't gonna if it's less than 0 it returns. Then I need to do an else in here, or is it know that that's an else? No else needed. And so sorry, I'm like a stickler for the correct way it's supposed to look. Is this supposed to be another, is there supposed to be a gap there or not? Right, and that's what I was checking before, if it was greater than 1 or greater than 0. Uh, so that's what yeah, so that's what I was doing before. I was making sure that it was not empty. Um, then you can extend the curly bracket like normal. I have no idea what you mean. Line 30. You mean like put this down here? Oh, I get what you're saying now. You could do this like that. Gotcha. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Because wouldn't it have done this, besides the pyramid, wouldn't it have done the same thing? If it was less, if it has to be greater than 0. 12 10 into statements and loops. I mean, it wasn't 12. Some of them I could see that happening, but I don't know. I guess that's cool. I like learning new things. Um, I don't know. I still think it was pretty readable. Um, but no, thank you. Um, we have a guard clause. But isn't that what the same thing was with the greater than 0? Because it would have, failed. All right, let's start this thing again. All right, what are we doing? Q. Okay, we gotta fix. Did I fix that? I got sidetracked. Common problem I have. 35. All right, it still doesn't like this. It doesn't know what that is. So, does this have to get the actual... No, it looks down it, I'm pretty sure. I was gonna say, because I was using get child before, and I don't like get child because then if I move stuff around, um, here, then it doesn't work how I want it to. Did I do? Why doesn't it like this? 0 get. Let's see. Look at my controls. I'm pretty sure that because this is some weird test thing. Did I call it look? Oh, you know what? I did call it look, but this guy doesn't have look yet. Let's see. I did call it look. These are named the same thing. They weren't before. Let's call them something else. Keep using F2 to rename, and that no longer works on this. Let's call it player look for right now. And line 11. Which one? Oh, I'm not gonna mess with. I'm not gonna mess with that stuff right now. That's unimportant to me. Um, maybe at some point, but not. It's not important to me at all. I rather fix the code and worry about that stuff later. Uh, so let's see here. 35. It doesn't know. So I usually don't do it this way. Like now that I know how to do it going forward, and that's what I do as well. Like if I see code that I wrote that I don't like in the past, then I just update it. And then going forward, I'll probably do that. I equals 0. I don't think I need to cast this thing. No. I was just trying to be lazy. Curious. Curious if this gets the same bug, because I'm not as familiar with those things, with the get node things. Yeah, so it does get it. It just has an issue with the way I was doing this. So let's figure this out so I know how to do it better later. Where did I copy that from? So here's like an exact example of what I was trying to do, except this is where we assigning this thing. This is oh, this is some half-ass thing. So when you summon a demon in this, it's like you pick between 3 random demons, sort of. But until I get that code fixed again as well. So now I'm doing the same thing here. This is on the goblin. No typos. No, it's something I made. It's it's the main thing that has all the different tokens. So yeah, I call them tokens. They're not going to look that way in the finished thing. Um, but each one of these has every demon and every NPC in the player has it attached to them, and it should be the first one. Um, no, why I wouldn't like that. Enemy list I. But then when I run this, so it's putting in the enemy list is a character body 2D, and it's not. Well, how does this work? Fetches a node. The node path can be either relative path, attempt to access. Well, like, what is this other one? Because this is the character. This is the character body 2D that's in this list. It's like the whole thing. It's its root. Yeah, Joker. How's it going? Um, oh. So where was that other one? Yeah, so this is the way I normally do it, but I don't like this because I can't reorganize the list. You know, like if I move one around, then it's all fucked up. So it does stuff. It does stuff too. It has a bunch of getter setters in it. Um, so do they have scriptable objects in Godot? Because I remember looking that up, and there was like some discussion, but then I didn't get that far. We would not be able to. It's just not data. There's so much is reliant on the token info, like controlling the turns and stuff. Um, but I do need. So this is the issue. Like I had weapons set up with scriptable object. I think it was weapons. Weapons or skills, one or the other with scriptable objects that I'm gonna have to figure out how to redo, and that was like a huge pain in Unity. Like this stuff, this wasn't that. So with the Hex Demon one, it's been way easier than my 2D4X one. But I started the 2D4X one first, so I was like applying the learning from the 2D4X one to the Hex Demon one, and now it's the reverse. I'm doing the Hex Demon. I'm way farther along with the Hex Demon one. Um, but like little things like this I still haven't had. You know how like when you start programming you get the same error all the time and you're like what the fuck, man, and then eventually you're just like every time you see it, you're like, oh, I know what this is. um, I looked at resources a little bit, but I haven't looked at it very much because I'm not to that point yet. The weapons I think is going to be the main thing. I can't remember how I did skills. They're in here somewhere that commented out like this thing. um, I don't understand why this doesn't work though. Let's try it again. Also, what is up with these errors that I get regularly? Yeah. It can't find it. You know the other thing we could do, let me look at something here. Yeah, this has token info in it. Did I apply it over here? Maybe that's it does have it. You know what? We'll just put it like this. When I figure out what the issue is with this thing. I don't understand why it doesn't like that. I probably have to do 2 steps, but that will work for now. All right, so then we got to go to our next thing, which is, I got really in Unity. I got really excited about scriptable objects, and I made everything a scriptable object for a while, and they turned out to be less useful than what I wanted, like in my head. Um, okay, so we still got an issue here. I'm using the Q key. You're hitting something else. um, oh, you know what it is? It's because I wasn't sure if this hide thing would work. We're gonna have to go to where is it? It's right here. The cute key. Yes, I am. I think I'm just hiding the token info, which is not what we want. No. So here's the thing we were talking about. Generally, I make these say the full thing almost always. Do we have it? We have player. I got to start my music again. Holy shit, it's been an hour and 20 minutes already? You know what we can also do before I do this is... Where's my goblin? Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's hiding the wrong one. Um, is that his name? Yep, Wriggleworm. So this is a Chat GPT thing. I asked Chat GPT for 100 goblin names, and they're all pretty good, honestly. Uh, I was writing my own after like 4. I was like, nah, fuck this. They're all, and I actually don't think I've seen a bad one. Uh, do I have to tell this thing? Uh, Character body 2D. No. So I know I've done this too. It's like my brain stops working. Well, I only did get like 5 hours of sleep, which seems like a lot, but not when you're aging, when you're falling apart. Was it playable? I had a friend who put look at this. I even put a I put a uh, I put a comment in there. Um, I had a friend who asked it to write a D&D like one adventure for a D&D campaign, and he showed it to me. It was pretty good. I was surprised. Probably what we can do just to make this, if we go, uh, oh, can I just put parent? I forgot about that. No, parent equals, and then why does it think that's parent is, so it's getting like I'm gonna try that thing that I just gave up on over here. Uh, Not that. Where was that? Detect this thing. This is going to be a character body 2D. This is going to be parent node. And it's going to just be oh, except they're going to have different names. Do I have to put a name in here? Curious. It says like I could put a path in there. know why it doesn't like get parent. Oh, I know what I need to do. I know what it is. I gotta go, I gotta cast it. That was this problem from the beginning. This is what, um, I always forget you gotta do it. Um, so, I was looking at some other tutorial, I think it was a raycasting tutorial, and the dude had like, I don't know if it was / or /, but he had like this, and I was so baffled. Like, was he really going up? Like, because in IT you do that, like so far up, and was he counting? Like, okay, it's 5 up. Um, or is there some like a certain number that suddenly just means go to the root or something? It was weird because that would be so error prone if you made one more mistake. It's the same thing as, but what we can do here is put this up here, I believe. But you know what I also could do, because we can probably just do, right? Um, body to, did I already try this? I must have. All right. We'll just go with what we can get right here. Parent node. Parent node. All right. Now I'm going to take a break. Huh, that's crazy. I do like the drag. So Unity has it too, but I do like the drag and drop thing, where you can just drag and drop a node in. Like if I do it a lot, um, then I'll just do like the drag and drop thing. So that's making sense. The first time it disappeared, it shouldn't have though. And it should. I know what the problem is. It's that update immediately thing. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Gotta stop my music and stuff though. All right, be right back. All right, I just thought of something. It's back to my sphere idea. Um, or not a sphere, a circle. I think a circle might actually be better because then I could limit. Let's look at the in this little map. It doesn't really matter because you would be able to see the whole thing. Well, let's not change it, but I'm going to put a note in here because otherwise I'm going to forget. Instead of using a raycast U2D, use a, what's it called? Is it a circle? I think it might be. Let's pretend we're going to add one here. Shapecast. Shapecast is what it's called. So that it can ease, because it will return. I'll limit the distance and get everything around it. Instead of having to go through the whole list, I think that actually will be less because there is going to be a limit to its site. So the next map is going to be procedurally generated, and it's going to be way larger, and it's going to have way more things on it. This is just the first map that you start on. That's what, yeah, those are the dots. Exactly how he had his whole thing. It was like 10 of them, though. I wonder if he was going almost all the way to the root, like you were saying, and then went down one. Would have been easier. I don't like absolute paths like that. I don't like typing in stuff like that, though, because I change the name on shit all the time. I need to stop doing that, too, but until, like, things are set in stone, like, as I'm learning, I'm going to be renaming shit. Okay, so I think the issue with this thing, though, is with the raycast, when I'm hitting Q to do it, is I need to do that thing where it updates immediately. It's like for raycast force this thing. I think I need to do that. Because it seems to be one key, like it happens the next time I push it. And this was happening to me earlier when I wasn't streaming. Yeah, what's up with the error that happens all the time? So this should go to nothing. Yeah, that was the issue. I wonder if that was what was happening with that one thing. Okay, so that's how that works. So now we gotta rename this shit again. Unique names for. All right, we need to. This isn't gonna be player look. Actually, this is gonna be. Can this just be called look? I want it to be called look, even though it's in a. Because it gave me some weirdness once when I had stuff named the same. Yeah, that thing. Um, they're unique for each token, but like Goblin has the same, should have the same. Pain Maggot should. That's the baby demon that I'm summoning. Um, okay, so it doesn't matter if it's. All right, so then we can go fix this other shit, which is in token info, which is on its turn. We can actually put this as well. You know what we can do? It's probably in here somewhere. It isn't. Private player movement. Oh, I ended up using this more than the group thing. Since it wasn't assigning the groups right, it actually was causing issues later. Wonder why we have this. Huh. Wonder why that thing isn't exposed. What did we call that thing? See, already. Okay, it's called look. I guess I could call it sight. Because I'm also gonna have hearing. I don't think I'm gonna have smell. Uh, a private detect. Oh yeah, I guess that doesn't matter. Why is this a capital? And then down here, we don't have to have this other thing. If player is false, we don't want to do that yet. So the plan is that only I think I was able to do it just at the beginning of the turn. Actually, I can't remember if we had to do it at the beginning and the end. Well, we got a problem. Oh, I know what the problem is. We got to go to here. Wonder if it's going to do that with the other. So are they unique by by scene though? So that would work. I got to remember that scenes are its own thing. Uh, oh, that guy started out invisible. Okay, so that doesn't quite work. We got to do it at the end of his turn too. I thought I had this. So I did. I had it at the beginning. Oh, I just had it regardless. It checks. Every turn it checks. Okay. Um is it bad to drag and drop them in there like that? Like on this to have token info with them drag and dropped in there? Or selected or whatever? We gotta go back to here. See, I took something out of this code and now this should be up here. Actually, was it even? It was just above everything. Yeah, it was just above everything. I don't know what I just did. Paste. I guess I got a nothing in there. Um, what the fuck did I just do? I copied the line below it. So this is going to happen for every token on every turn. Is that for real? Is that how I did that? Oh, but it was only doing it. Oh, it was having the player look every token every turn. Because I was thinking, I guess we can do that. Wonder why I was doing it that way. Trying to remember my old code. Like I was saying the other day that if like I could fix this bug in this game I was playing if I had written the code, because I was like I could fix this bug in 10 minutes. And now I'm thinking 2 hours because I can't even remember why I did stuff in my own code. Uh, all right, for some reason I was doing so. So this is gonna bug out though if I do it because the goblin doesn't have a, and we don't want the goblin to do this. We want just the player to do it. I mean, I guess we could also do. No, we want it to happen on every. Why was I doing it on every turn? What happens if I don't do it on every turn? Let's put this thing. Well, we just did that, and it was acting wonky. So I must have. It wasn't. Yeah. So I must have it. That's such a weird. No, it does make sense because if like a guy moves out of position where I can't see him, and where the player can't see him, it should go away. So then we did. I see why did that, and I was thinking about this last night, but that's not going to do us any good here. Detect opponent is not here. This is one of the. We could do the get node. So but if I just drag and drop them, then rearranging shouldn't matter, right? We got to do this. Detect opponent. That seems like gibberish. Let's see if I get that same weird thing that I can't figure. That's why it wasn't Unity. You would drag and drop everything. All right, the guy's invisible right now. He should be there. We can double check, but I'm pretty sure the guy's invisible. Yeah, sludge grin. He shouldn't be invisible. I wonder if that was happening on the Unity version, and I just never noticed. Because if I end my turn, he appears. I bet you that was happening on the Unity one too, and I didn't notice because when I redid this, I was like, why is this guy showing up so early? And I was like, no, he's supposed to appear on turn 2, and he was. And he should be able to see over this thing. Really? You can do that right at the beginning? You can get your like set it? Oh man, I'm always fucking with shit. All right, sludge grin. Okay, that's a little weird. The reason I'm just like slowly, I'm trying to get a feel. So at the beginning of its turn and at the end of its turn, it is. I mean, regardless. So that's I don't think that's what we want. At the beginning of all right. So if this is true, and we put this here, I'm just out of laziness. We can do that. And if it's false and we put it here, well, let's see how this looks. I think this is not going to look. So that would check at the beginning and the end of your turn. Yeah, let's see, it's still doing that thing. All right, so that guy's still invisible. We need to like run around some. No, it still does that. Wanted that guy out of the way. I don't want to do it in. I guess I could do it in not update or whatever they call it. I keep wanting to call it update. I wonder if it was doing that in Unity. Oh, I was about to say I should fire up Unity. Look, process. There we go. I could do it in process. It's only one token that would do that. It's only one token that's going to be looking all the time. But it would have to go through every token. How did it look again on the starting? If see now it's back like it's. I guess we should use some mouse attempts here too to make sure that's always working. I mean, it actually looks fine like this. I mean, this isn't. Whoop. Okay, it didn't look fine like that because that guy moved to here. But then at the beginning of my turn, it should have seen him. Maybe there's something else going on. If it's the player. Oh, I have this at the end of the turn. It's the same thing. I gotta keep testing this, make sure it's. I must have figured this out some other, because I don't remember this happening. So what is this doing? So it's right at the set it was doing for everybody. So this is everybody with token info, which would be demons and so maybe there's something else going wrong here. Let's go put this back here. Let's get rid of this extra one so I don't know, so I'm not confused. Maybe it was doing the weird movement thing. So every time anyone has a turn, the player should look. If player can see equals true, let's go back to our raycasting thing. Maybe we're doing something not right. 4. All right, so it's going through everyone on the list and it's saying, what does this thing do again? Maybe I'm using this wrong. Yeah, because this is immediately. So we want this because we're not using. Well, and I mean, it should happen like a second later, not a second, but a quarter second. Oh, you know, we could actually get rid of something here. I think we can actually go. We can just skip this whole part. I guess that's not. Well, we'll see. All right, let me look through this again. So it's going to go through the list and it's going to say, "Hey, are you hitting that thing?" And if it is, it's going to player can see is true. And those are capital. And else player can see equals false. I want to change something. And we actually don't need to be able to see that anymore either. This doesn't have to be, but this we do. I did when I typed it in. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah. At least somebody's getting something, right? Even if he's a metaphorical. You're not even gonna be a wizard when you play this. All right, so it didn't work quite. So let's see. It does need to be triggered again. You're hitting snicker dirt. Oh, it's giving it to us twice. Really? Oh, it is. Now I'm wondering if this thing's causing that. I mean, it feels like it shouldn't matter if it's the next physics. You know, that's like that number that we saw the other day, 0.000166 or whatever. Oh, it's still doing it twice. Because, yeah, exactly, that thing. I think it's because, yeah, it's happening twice because one token is getting turned off and then the next one's getting, it's one, so it's the player's turn and then it's, which is throwing this bool and then it's turning that to no and then it's saying yes on this next one. So it's happening twice in a row. So that's kind of pointless to have it here. Um, I feel like it should just. I feel like I'm on the cusp of, and I totally remember doing this with Unity. So at the beginning of my turn, why is it not detecting this thing? Slurps now. Yeah, but now it's going back to like the flashing. Motherfucker. Does it really? I mean, it doesn't matter if it happens twice. Let's see how that looks. I mean, it's better than having it in process. We might have to do that, though. I think the whole key was to try not to do that every frame. Originally, I totally forgot about this. Originally, I had it happening like every 0.1 second, which worked okay. Yeah, it's the same thing, though. So this one we should definitely be seeing. Noggin flop. All right, let's go like hardcore. Maybe their turns aren't getting triggered right, and I just never noticed yet. Noggin flop here. Muckraker is an okay goblin name. I think I have something wrong with my detection code. Also, what happens if I put export in front of this list? Oh, then it doesn't like this. That is why we're not doing that. You know, are you talking about? Oh, I was gonna say I have one over here. Are you talking about these things? I think we're gonna have to put this in process to see. Yeah, yeah. So I was starting to do that. It used to be in whatchamacallit, um, Unity. It was called. They're called headers. And so I started to do that, and it actually was on. It's actually on this globals. um, I started to do this more, and I was messing around with it some just because you know, like you got to have, like, if you have this at the top, it's going to put all of these in there. So yes, that is the plan by far, because I need to have organization in my life, otherwise it's just a disaster. So what if, talking to myself sort of here, rhetorical question. Let's what if this into, we can get rid of this. Oh, no, we can't. We will be, can I just type process in here and will it fill it automatically? It will not. I think it's got to be a public override void underscore something. No, I'm off one. I can't remember. Where do I have one of those? You know, I had one in. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. I thought I had one in here, actually. I might have one here. Underscore override? Oh, I got my awake. Oh, I did save. I was like, I keep wanting to delete these things, like this extra stuff, but like these are all like skills and things that I gotta re-put in here. uh, we actually don't want this here. We want this in. We want it right here. Public void. Well, the one above it is public void override. Oh, it won't suggest stuff for me. I have one of them somewhere. I don't know why I still can't remember. It's because I try to never use that. Where was I using it, though? Oh, right. It needs that delta thing. Wait, do we want this in token info? Or token? the double delta thing. Token info, it would do it for everybody. We don't want it there. We do want it in, for now, we'll put it in here. And, you know, I had it in here originally, now that I think about it. I feel like every frame is too hardcore. I keep meaning to also that's an idea. So this actually this works great. Oh, maybe not. Oh, hey, I didn't want to fight you. I just ran in. Oh God. Yeah, this guy's invisible again. I wonder what the deal is with that. There's got to be something wrong with my raycast. Did I have, you know what? Did I put like a 0 in here? No, it's an I. That's an I, that's an I, that's an I. Does the second one have different stuff? They're the same thing, being get child 0. That's let's see. Let's look at the signals because that might be a solution. Let's think. You can create your own. This thing just going to down over here. Man, I knew this was going to be a pain. I didn't think this would be the issue, though. That's kind of how all programming is, though, for me. I'm always surprised at the thing that is causing me issues. No, it's 100% that. I'm wondering if there's something else I'm missing. You know, if we go back. Oh, I stopped it. Let's look at the show hide thing again. Because I feel like, okay, so like that one set, it couldn't be seen, though. I was trying to think if there's another way to do this. With like a different getter setter. I wonder if we go back to here. and we go, if this will change anything. I don't think it should. I mean, it shouldn't. What do we have here? Is this show or hide? This is if we go back to this, I don't know what I just hit. Good God, I'm back to the typing, just clicking all over things. I'm gonna take a break here in a second, but I want to see if like this shouldn't matter. You know what I was hitting was Control End somehow. Hide. Let's turn this off. Maybe my logic isn't right. Like, maybe the way I'm thinking about it isn't right. All right, so it goes to the list. It's getting the position of the enemy and my global position, and that's how it's targeting it. Well, the length wouldn't matter because it would be if it equals the thing that it's colliding with equals the list thing, the enemy, maybe these aren't, maybe these things don't match, and I keep thinking they do. Like they match sometimes. I don't know why that would change. So if it's hitting it, it shows it, and if it's not hitting it, doesn't show it. Maybe I should go to the sphere thing, or the circle, shape. I'm gonna need to collapse that though. Um, I know where this one is. I'm pretty sure. So this is happening all the time though. The enemy list should. I keep looking for like if I left a 0 in here because at the beginning I was using it, I was forcing it to look at that specific one. What happens if we're hitting something else? I'm going to close it and reopen it. If this, Unity had to do that a bunch because of weird, because I keep getting that same bug that appears. So maybe something else is weirded out and it's affecting things. Unity, I used to do that all the time. I also was on like the newest version. It was. Okay. It's hitting the area 2D, which is on this thing. Just making sure these are on the right. That's collision 2. I think I only have to... The only thing we don't want to be hitting is this thing. And I mean, it should be blocked at this point. It should be blocked at that point. All right, so like here, it's the problem starts when the second one comes into play. Is my for loop wrong? Maybe this guy's getting added. Maybe there isn't, like, it's not, he's replacing that other one or something. It makes no sense, but it's when the second one joins that the issues start. It's like it's only looking for one of them, which, once again, originally had a 0 in here. Is it possible there's some 0 somewhere? I can't tell if that's an O or a 0. It looks like it's a 0. I think I reloaded. Gotta get a little farther away. Yeah, it's the minute this guy shows up, and there's 2 there. Like right now, it should definitely 100%. We're no longer using token info. This isn't being used. Where's that show hide thing? All right, I'm gonna go take a break. Maybe I'll have some inspiration when I'm having a cigarette. I was just thinking, I wonder if this other thing is blocking. But even if it's blocking it, no, it wouldn't matter because it's going down the list. No, it would matter. But if it was blocking it, this one should be hidden and this one should be available or showing. It's hiding in plain sight. Of course it's being rude. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right. I was like staring at it. All right, a lot of times taking a break actually helps my mind think of new things. You know, that's like why you have interesting thoughts in the shower. Anyways, I'll be right back. All right, I had some inspiration, and now we just have to look here. And I also was thinking, um, I think it's this. It's waiting till the next frame, which this thing's going the next frame, so it's always hiding that one. Maybe. Um, oh, we should try the mouse thing again here. Oh wait, he's behind this. I know this doesn't look like he's blocked, but the laser actually, or the ray actually hits. Oh, now he's missing. But is it? I think it's because this is blocking. Okay, so this isn't gonna work. Yeah, it's because that other guy's blocking, which is kind of cool, but not what we want. This isn't gonna work. Oh, my break timer's still on. I was all excited and shit. This isn't gonna work. This was an amazing attempt, but it was a complete waste of time because they block each other, which is kind of cool. But you would be able to see a goblin flailing around behind another goblin. Alright, let's just kill him. Oh wait, that didn't work. Now the guy's invisible. Oh, it's because he went around the other side. That son of a bitch. Dude. Okay. Alright, so that's not gonna work. Because it stops the raycast. I should have thought of that right at the beginning. So we gotta use that other thing then. The sphere thing. Disable you for now. It's not a sphere, it's a shape. Shape cast. And then how did we do this? First, I had to do this without you guys in chat to tell me how to do it. It took so long for me to figure out. It wasn't this. This was easier. No, wait. No, it's not that. It's, yeah, it's this. I gotta go shape. Circle shape 2D. And the fuck is that? Maybe that's not what I wanted. Oh, no? Yeah, I want just one circle. Oh, is it because of this look? I'm reluctant to delete that, but I guess because I have a target position that's like kind of, except it was um, I have so many of them. Okay, so it will only return 32 results right now, currently. We're gonna want to make it bigger than 100. Let's just put it kind of large. That should cover most of that room. This is gonna be horrible. Let's attach. Detect opponent on here. Let's just hit play and it's gonna bug out. It should at least. All right, that's fine. Let's go back to this thing. We're gonna write a whole new thing. We're gonna call this Look 2.0. No, public. Let's rename this. Actually, let's rename this thing to old look, and then because we have that thing somewhere, the Q key should public void look. All right, so this thing returns a what the fuck? How do I use this shape? This is gonna be murder. I knew this was gonna be hard, but I totally didn't think about the. We would have had it if they weren't blocking collision. I'm trying to think if there a way we could say like stop blocking, but then it would have to turn them all back on again. And this is probably a better way to do it anyways. I just want the Godot shape cast 2D docs. But then how do we tell if we can see it or not? Motherfucker. That's not going to work either, because it's going to return everything in that circle, even if they're behind a wall. We might... It is. I mean, it might be better to have that so we're only getting some of the things instead of everything on the list. But it's going to return, let's say... No, it's not going to let us do it while it's busted. It's going to want... So if there's like a guy behind, if it's in the circle and there's a guy behind a pillar, it's still going to return that it's there. So we have to somehow turn off the collider. Not the collider, but their ability for... All right, get this thing out of here again. Back to this. Man, this is a pain in my ass. I knew it was going to be a pain in my ass. Is there a way to get everything with the raycast that it... What would that give us? All right, so look, we could collision object 2D. Man, what a huge pain in my ass. We can rename this. We can get rid of this. The good thing with the pains in the ass, though, is that eventually when you do something else, you're like, oh, I know how to do this because I had to do that pain in the ass thing that took me 17 hours. All right, we don't need this. I don't think we'll ever need this again. I just was checking every issue. You are hitting... All right, what was that thing? Well, we need it past here. We're gonna need to rearrange this shit too. It's getting ugly. I mean, the whole thing's fucking ugly. Raycast dot where am I assigning? Oh, I dragged and dropped it in there. Okay, so we can do raycast clear exceptions. So then it hits the first one and it shows it, and then it's gonna raycast add exception, and then it looks, yeah, thanks. Let's hope that is that there. So then it's not gonna get it again, which is kind of like half of the point of what we're doing, is to continually hit the goddamn thing. Wait, it doesn't know because it will clear it when it's going through. Okay, so it's gonna hit this thing. Otherwise, it hides it. and then it does it again. This is in the for loop. Okay, maybe this won't be as big of a pain in the ass as I think. No, it's going to be. Don't think that. Don't think it's not. All right, let's try this again. Turn 2. Okay, so it's still like going, crazy. We need this other guy to show up, and then we need you to be in the way. Okay, the other guy's invisible still. Yeah, so that's not working. Well, he should be invisible there. He shouldn't be invisible there. He could be going around the outside there, but let's make sure let's line these guys up if we can. Come on, would you guys cooperate? You're not going to cooperate. Let's start over here. So turn 10 is when that guy shows up. And I can see him there. Yeah, he disappears. Maybe this doesn't work how I think it does. No, it works. I mean, I think it's not working. What happens? Oh, this is inside the for loop. Whoops. That's not where we want this outside the for loop. I think that's in the right. Now I'm confused by my without the else there. Did I save that shit? I did. Man, this song that I'm listening to just suddenly got really loud. I should make that guy show up earlier. All right, we can see him. We can see him. Okay, so that worked. We can't see him now because there's pillars in the way. It would kind of be better if we were raycasting actually not from the center of the dot, or of the center of the circle. But that's less of an issue. Okay, he disappeared. Oh, because he was behind that pillar for just the. If you get like behind a pillar, like so, he's right here, but we can't see him because this is hitting the pillar. I had an idea for that. It's gonna look dumb right now, but I'm just curious. If we make this a tiny bit smaller, will they like that weird shit go away? Yeah, it looks terrible now, but that's okay. Oh, I didn't change the collider size though. Oh, I think it shrank on its own. See, that makes sense because we're behind the pillar. I mean, this isn't like end of the world shit. Yeah, so like this is kind of better if we make this the pillar's not so wide. We would still be because right now if we had it the old way, we wouldn't be able to see that guy because the raycast hits this thing. So probably we want to do that. Yeah, and he would be invisible right here too. We don't have to do that right now though. We're gonna put this guy back actually too. 125, and because otherwise I'm gonna have to recreate a new. I'm gonna have to create a new hex. Okay, so that last part wasn't that bad. That wasn't bad at all. Make the pillar slightly smaller so the ray cast goes. Ah, shit, though. I was thinking we would just put the floor. You know what, though? Wait, we don't need to make the ray cast or the pillar smaller. We just need to make the area smaller. The collider's smaller. All right, we'll just put that in the note. Make the pillar collider slightly smaller so the tokens can see each other more realistically. Now, let's hope I can remember what that means, in 6 months. Because, like I said, this is all like prototype art. All right, we got like 15 minutes. Let's look at the next part. I think I'm going to leave it. Well, no, let's go back to this and see if this had anything to do with anything. I don't think it did. I think it was two different issues. I'm pretty sure I was having two different issues, and I already forgot what the first issue was. Maybe it was the same issue that we couldn't see through the other one. Oh, I wasn't testing the issue. I got sidetracked. Let's restart here. It's a very specific circumstance. All right, yeah. So that we don't need it. The way we got it over here is better. We can get rid of this. We'll just use it in update. It's only 1/3 process. We don't need this thing right now. We don't need this. It's like the only thing that will be in process. But then we got to put in here. Well, let's look at what we're doing here. All right, we're not using layer masks anymore. Okay, so there's another problem that we have here, which is going to be the next thing. To deal with anyways, which is what that layer mask is. The problem's going to be when we summon a demon. I just took out all of those, where's he going? Oh, the demons don't have colliders right now. So I did a collision polygon. This was the thing that I couldn't remember how to do. Was like add a shape, and it took me like 30 minutes to find it. It was like, and I was just trying to remember what you guys told me in chat. And I was like, I remember them. They were like, go to the top, click on this thing, and I was like, it's not here. And I was just like, oh God. Like I said, after I did it for 30 minutes or whatever, it was, I think I put this as 1, too. I'll know where that is for the rest of eternity. Okay, do I need anything on here? Little goblin guy? No. Okay. Now, if I do this, we should be... oh, it's only checking... oh! It's only checking the enemy list. We don't... that actually solves that problem. That would be a Unity thing. Tattergrin. That was because Unity returned everything. It was like it raycast out and it returned everything, and then you went through the list and you shot a ray out to see if anything was intersecting it. But in this, we're only looking at the enemy list, so this doesn't matter. This little guy won't be stopped by that. We can stop this. So that solves that. That problem's solved without it ever being a problem. Let's get rid of this thing. We don't need this shit ever again. Next week, I'll be working on this by myself, and I'll be like, what the fuck is global position? Okay. I'll just completely forget what it is. All right, what were we doing here? We were using token info. We used get child because I couldn't figure out why that didn't work. So we'll just use that. I probably wasn't... what was I doing? Put it back here. I wasn't casting it. No, this one, and I don't know. Fuck it, it's gone. Whoops, now I'm going the wrong direction. We're gonna have some progress, right? Okay. So this should all be working. I don't particularly like the order this is in for no apparent reason since it's commented out, but we'll do that anyways. So this is when the things get... we don't use these obstruction layers, so actually we're not going to use this at all because we're going to have the... we're going to do something else here. We're going... so how did I do this before? Can see opponent. Wonder what that was for. We're going to have to just rewrite this from scratch. So in ready, we're going to need to do something here. We're going to need to change. We're going to need a list that we don't need this shit anymore either. I love deleting code. I don't know about you guys, but I love... if I can... like, I know it was commented out, but if I can delete the code, I get so excited. We're going to need a private list here of... yeah, exactly. Oh, no, we can't do that. Yes, we... can we do that? Character, body 2D, called opponent list, and then down here, opponent. If we're going to need a token info in here as well. We could probably just drag and drop it because we're gonna make this code work for both the AI and the other things. We're gonna need a. So you use the header thing, and then they're not called headers. What the fuck it's called? I can't remember. The thing we were talking about earlier, you use that to organize your variables, because I was doing that in Unity, and I felt like I never saw anyone but me doing it. And like no tutorials. There was always like this big, and they would always name their variables, like T and X. I was like, how do they figure anything out? Private. So this is going to be a private token info, and whatever this is, I swear to God, I've told this, hide this song. I like never downvote YouTube videos, because so how YouTube works is if you downvote, upvote, whatever, or thumbs up, thumbs down, it gives it engagement, which more people will see. And I was just thinking about how to do this. So I never like downvote videos because what's the point? But this video I downvoted in because there was so many comments that said like there's gaps in the, like there's missing parts of the song, and it still keeps showing. And I even said like hide from my list. Yeah, no, the way to do it in this is pretty. You just put that line in and change what it says. I have a couple of them that I've used. I definitely, so this is, I mentioned this kind of half-assedly earlier. Yeah, this thing. When I find this old code, I've been really having issues determine. Yeah, like I put code from Unity. Maybe this might have actually been ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't usually put periods at the end, and I do. But anyways, um, I've been having a hard time knowing if it's stuff that I had commented out from before. And same with my variables. Like up here, there's all these commented out variables, and I like this used to say something else. Oh no, I was doing this as a test because I wanted to figure out how it worked. Um, yeah, you should link. You should post your if you have like a YouTube channel, or you said you made a video or whatever you use. Um, like to support everyone. Okay, so we got to do this. We want this to be. Can we try this one thing again before I call it a day? Get node. Token info. All right, so that at the beginning, it will know. Well, I guess I could have just, that's why I put the export thing on there. Oh. All right. If token info dot is dead demon no. Global dot inst. What did I have in here? What did I call this thing? Grid. It's under the grid. Oh yes, I would like to move that at some point. Grid dot pathfinding dot instant. How the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, it's just pathfinding type. Jesus Christ. It's like my pathfinding type is equal to player. Yes. Then, oh, that's not gonna work though. No, but then if we go, oh wait, no, it is gonna work. Opponent list is equal to globals dot instance dot enemy list. Then we can go to here, I think. And this is very error prone what I'm doing right here. I should find and replace. Oh, we want to get this whole thing. I'll check out your your channel when I'm done streaming too. This is the one we don't want to skip, or we don't want to do. We want to skip this. I want to skip that. Yeah, that's don't want to do that. I should have just left it there, just this script, not. All right, I think that's everything though. So now the question is, because I only got to level 4 on C# basic Microsoft stuff, we broke something. Oh, yep, I didn't set that to a reference. What did I? That was under player. Look, shapecast token info. Look, I don't know why sometimes I can drag those over there, sometimes I can't. Save. The goblin's gonna need it too. No, the goblin is not gonna need it. You don't have a detect yet. Did I not just do that for this thing? Shapecast we don't need. What is your problem here? I have busted something. All right, stop that first. Let's get rid of this shapecast thing because we don't need that. That's just extra garbage. It's under detect opponent. If exactly, I tried twice. I've tried to use that. All right, then let's figure out. I just wanted to clear one thing off. Look has that there. And what is going on here? I want to read the rest of it. 29. It doesn't like this. We'll convert this thing. Oh, is that not maybe not happening yet? I think this is the problem is my lack of C# knowledge. I don't think I can do this equals thing like I want it to. Or I think that was the issue. I think I thought I was assigning that at which that one of those two. All right, so that works, but my question is this going to update? This guy actually, he was a Unity developer for mobile games. He's really nice. One of the few. Oh, it does update. He actually was like, "You're missing some like very basic C# knowledge. Once you're done streaming, can I show you a couple of things?" And so we did like a Discord meeting, and he went over like a couple of very basic things. Yeah, exactly. There's like two of them, like three of them, who are very nice, and it's such a contrast, from the other guys. But anyways, um, so I'm shit talking the whole Unity community. It was 75% okay. It just there's those 25% dickheads, and I think Godot it's 95. Good, not dickheads. But he showed me a couple of things, and one of the things I was misunderstanding is what the equals sign means in C#. And I know you're like, isn't that the most basic shit? Yes. Uh, so basically, what I wasn't sure if this was pointing to this list or if it was like keeping its own thing, and it's pointing to that list, which is what I wanted. So this should work, but then we'll make the opponent list equal player list for this other. So now we can I can stick this. Man, it's already been 3 hours, but I kind of want to like do a little bit more. So I wasn't sure if it actually equaled. This is a year ago or something. If it actually equaled that number, like if you did the variable of opponent and you said it equal to an int, another if you had two variables and you equaled them, if one was getting like assigned that number versus being looking at that variable. And so I wasn't sure if lists did it that way, because I remember whatever. I had to double check myself. I was just thinking like, man, I double check myself a lot. And I actually do that in my day job too. People will be like, hey, did you do this? And I will have done it like 2 hours before. And I was like, I think so. Let me go double check. And it's kind of annoying. I don't trust myself. So now we can stick this thing on. All right, so we got to do two things here. We got to put, so the raycasting part, how did we do this before? This commented out code is not very helpful because I've butchered it at this point. I think, oh, did I have two different things? Maybe that will be better. That will be better to have two different. I was thinking about putting in here like if it's a player, but no, we'll do that like in, not in process. So they only need to do it. We'll go if then we'll have it look, but we don't want the other guys to be using this. I guess we could do two different scripts, but I think how did I do this? God damn it. I hate Oh, I see what that is. We don't need this code in here. This is just confusing. We don't need that. That was to just check it over like 0.2 seconds or something, which I guess we could do. Maybe I will call it a day. My brain's already mush. You know what? I had two different scripts. One was called Field of View, and I think the other one was called like Look or something. Or Player. I think we might want two different scripts. It's not like the end of the world or anything. The second script would be for all NPCs. They just basically need to detect who's closest and then go attack them. That's as deep as this is. It just sets their pathfinding target to be whoever is closest. Oh yeah, I called it Field of View. And it has Look in here. Yeah, so this is what we just convert. Oh, I must have copied over some, whatever. And then the other one is called Detect Opponent. Yeah, so we'll have two different scripts. But that will be next time. And that should be much easier because on that one, we probably should do a raycast. We should probably use a raycast again, though. You know what? Well, it's right in front of me. I was raycasting to everyone on the list, and everyone that it could see, it would see which one. That's this math infinity thing. And so it started in infinity, and it would subtract. It would find the one that was the next longest until it found the shortest one, and whatever one's closer was an attack. And if it couldn't find any of them, it just defaulted to chasing the player around, even if it couldn't see the player, which is like a temporary solution. And probably not a very fair. So that would be one of the things as a player you would like if you were playing a game and you're like, "What the fuck, man? How is this thing chasing me?" But it was good enough for what I needed temporarily. But yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you guys again. I'm gonna try to retrain retrain my brain to do this other way to have. So I guess the goal is to have less pyramids, as you guys were calling it. I mean, isn't the whole goal to have less embedded if statements too? Like you shouldn't have like I'm pulling this out of a Reddit meme comment that I saw once about something. That you're not supposed to have like a bazillion if statements anyways. You're supposed to like smooth it down, figure out what's going on. I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Joker. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at your stuff. I'm gonna look at it right when I'm done though. Right when I'm done streaming. I mean, I'm done now, but you know what I mean. All right. Talk to you next time.